All right, so now that we're recording, we can go ahead and cover how to add a property into into our system, how to get them integrated into the vendor system.
Right.
Um, once you receive the add a property form. So you're going to receive the add a property form, and then remember, if you forget any of this information, you can always access the add a property CSA procedures guide that will be here. It is located in the development folder, internal customer success, success team training documents, customer success training folder, and then customer success training documents. So that is where the location of it is. With that said, once you have it, you'll pull it up. It'll look like this, or it may be in an updated form. So it does say the below items are steps and procedures needed once a property has officially been added to a PMG, a property management group. The first thing you want to do is notify the CSR of the property addition. So whoever's responsible, whoever the CSR rep is for that particular PMG, you want to go ahead and forward that add a property form to them so that they are aware as well. Okay. Activate and peak. So let's go over this first, and then we'll start working on each step one by one. Next thing you want to do is add a property with departments if applicable, because remember, some property management groups don't have departments. So you're going to add the property, add the departments if it's applicable, add remaining phishing campaigns. Make sure that you verify the contract end date when you're doing this, which you may not necessarily need to do, and I'll show you why. Request or ping the CSR for property user and course assignment sheet. This is going to be for the user upload. Okay, and remember, this is going to be optional if you have the time to do it, if you're available, because you will have other responsibilities as a CSA. Okay?
Okay.
Activate in teamwork. We're going to do that at the account or project underneath the property management group. This should correspond with the package that they have, so Matterhorn, Denali, Denali Plus, Everest, etc. And then there's a little note here. Either of these packages could have properties with scanning, SAQ prep, GDPR, etc. So if they do, so remember, sometimes our lovely, lovely sales teams like to sell Denali Plus packages. So it includes everything within the Denali package, but it may also include Denali Plus SAQ prep or Denali Plus scanning, different things like that. So you want to be aware of everything that they have when you're adding them into teamwork, so that so that the corresponding SA or security analyst can be aware that there is a new property and that you can properly assign them to those tasks and milestones within teamwork. Okay? And that is even here for your reference as well. So add each task list and associate with respective milestones. Verify proper scanner, SA, and CSR assignment. That should be our assigned, but you get the gist. I'll change that later. All right. Activate an active campaign, add to active campaign. So basically what this means is that with the new POC or point of contact at the property, we'll need to add them to the active campaign that has already been built for that PMG, so that they can be added at the same step within the same process that the other champions are at. Activate data breach. Ping CSR for data breach info if not sufficient. So if you don't have all the information that you need in order to add them to the data breach, Make sure you utilize your resources. Remember to check the data breach only or Aperia access for SAQ work. Does that make sense so far?
Yep. Yes.
Awesome. And then we touched on this earlier. You want to make sure that you notify the SAs that the property is being added and assigned to them. If you're not sure who should be assigned or who is currently assigned to that PMG, that's something that the CSR can help you with.
Okay.
All right. Then you want to pass over the MIF. Pass MIF to scanning specialist if applicable. Applicable. I can't say that word today. Applicable. Applicable. There we go. Pass that over to them. Then last but not least, you're going to send confirmation lists to the respective CSR. Email CSR to verify the 5 steps above have happened. Leave notes for outstanding. Leave notes for the CSR so that they know what is left or if there were any complications while doing it. And that's where that other document is going to come into play. So there we go. Hopefully that answers your question, what the differences between those two are.
Got it.
So let's just go ahead and touch on that so we can make a circle round, and for lack of a better term, right now I am looking for Success Team Training Docs. Then we're going to go into the CS Training folder, CS Training Documents, and here is the checklist. Okay, so this is the checklist that you're going to utilize and send over to the specific CSR rep or CSR person that is directly working with that property management group so that they know that all of these steps have taken place. This one right here is more of a more in-detailed reference guide or procedure protocol that is created so that you know in depth exactly what needs to be done for each step. Okay? And then once you're done with all of these things, you'll complete the checkoff. And this, in the Word file, which is also in that folder, in the Success Team Training folder, the check marks can be actually checked. You can do it there.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Okay, and then we have notes here so that if there's anything we need to know, only 2 campaigns left before renewal is up in October or something like that. That would be a really good example of a note. CSR responsible for user upload, any type of note like that or any tidbit that you're getting, or questions or complications that you may have. Okay. All right. So first thing on the list is notifying the CSR of the property addition. We already talked about you'll forward that add a property form to the CSR. Activate in peak. Add a new property with the departments. We'll touch on that briefly, only because I know that you are aware of how to do so, but we'll cover that briefly just to make sure we're on the same page. So of course, when you're adding a property, you're going to come to the manager dashboard here. You'll scroll down and then we will go to group manager. From here you'll find the property management group that this new property belongs to. We will go to level 5. Okay. And of course you want to utilize these instructions wisely. So remember, some property management groups are going to be different. So some have regional. So the properties may be at the level 4 instead of the level 5. But in this case, in this example, we're going to use, actually I wanted to use a real live example. Let's do that. Actually, that may take up our time. So let's say the property belongs to 21C Hotels. We have the actual properties listed here. So we're going to enter the property name here. We're going to list, it says member limit. You'll always enter 0 here. We want to make sure that the property is active and that we also select that it is indeed a property. Yes. The reason why this button is here is sometimes they may quote unquote add a property, but it is not exactly a property. It may be their corporate office. Therefore, it is
Oh,
not indeed a property. It's just their corporate license that they're
sure.
adding. Once you add those things, you're going to create a level 5. Once you click save, that property will then appear here. Okay, and look, this is a good example. If we clicked on 21C Museum Hotels, it should say no under property,
Right.
and it does. Perfect. Okay. All right, so with that said, once you create the new property, you will then go under that property if it applies, and then you're going to add um, the departments that belong to this particular property if it is applicable. If you're wondering what departments should I add, feel free to utilize a different property within the same portfolio. Okay, so for example, I might do level 4 and then I'll open it in a new tab so that I can see this one, but then I can do a side-by-side view, right? So I can have them side by side.
Right.
And then as I'm adding the new departments within the new property, I have this as a reference just to view on the side as I add them here. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now the next step on that handy dandy adding a property list is, let's make sure we've covered all of that. We did talk about requesting and pinging the user list. Actually, we're not done with the step. Adding remaining phishing campaigns. So from here, we're going to go to, configuration here up top. We're going to go to phishing campaigns.
I've never done this before.
That is okay. So let's say, for example, Peachtree has a new property that they have added, right? We've added the property
Right.
under Group Manager, and we have added the departments because Peachtree has departments. We are going to go to Configuration. Here under Configuration, you will see phishing campaigns.
Okay.
And so you're going to see a lot of campaigns because we are just growing. And in the contract, you'll see that there are 5 phishing campaigns in the package. So if we wanted to narrow this list down and we simply only wanted to see the Peachtree Hotel Group, you can do a search here and type in Peachtree or Peach, and then they'll all come up. So we can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So once we've added the properties, we can see here under date processed that Peachtree has had 3 different phishing campaigns processed already. They had one in April, May, and July. The next one that's coming up will be in September. Okay? And it has yet to process. So they have 2 more phishing campaigns that need to be processed. Therefore, this new property will be able to partake in the remaining 2 phishing campaigns that are left.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to edit both of these remaining campaigns. This can only be done individually per campaign, but we're going to click here under Edit. Okay, we're not going to change a thing with anything that you see there when we're adding this property. So here under Groups, you'll see a list of properties. You're going to scroll down. It's actually still loading. That's why it's being a little slow, because it should automatically skip ahead to zoom in on Peachtree. So we'll give it a couple of minutes. And it could definitely be because I have lots of windows open. So I'm going to close this one. And I'm going to close that one. And hopefully this one will help too. Page is unresponsive. I don't. Let's wait, and then I'm going to stop it. Let's see if we can get it to do it again. This typically does not happen. I will say that. Okay. Come on. It stopped and then it restarted. This could also be a result as the cron running. The system could be in the middle of an update, and because I'm trying to pull information right now, that could be the result of the system acting a little funky.
Mm.
If it forces me to, I will close out of it and then come back
Right.
into it. Let's see. Okay. Let's go ahead and do it. So we're going to go to Vinzapeak. Okay. You can see that I'm logged in. We're going to go to Configuration, which is where we're located. And then we're going to go to Phishing Campaigns. Remember, we narrowed down our search to Peachtree for this example. They have 2 remaining phishing campaigns that have yet to launch. So again, that means the new property will be able to partake in the last remaining campaigns. We're going to edit them. We're going to come here. We're going to wait. Actually, it's still running, as you can see. So we're going to give it some time, let it run. Again, this is usually not the case.
That's okay.
But of course, in the middle of our demo, this would happen. We'll just have to fast forward through this part.
Okay. That's fine. We can come back to it if you want.
You're right, we can come back to it. That's very strange. Okay, let's come back to it. The next thing on the list is activate in teamwork. So, therefore, we're going to go to teamwork. As soon as I can, here we go. I thought it was here. All right, so here,
Okay.
we're going to find the specific property that we're working with. Okay, so in this example, we were talking about Peachtree.
Right.
So we're going to scroll down and find Peachtree. Okay. We're definitely going to pick the Peachtree Hotel group. There is an archive group for expired properties. So we'll come back to that. Remember, we were trying to find that property earlier, but we weren't able to find it. So we'll come back to that.
All right.
So Peachtree Hotel group here, we'll click on it. From here, we're going to go to tasks. And under task, we'll see the list of properties. So you'll see a project for the SAQ per property, and you'll also see a project for the ASV per property. Okay, there is a way to simply take an existing property and then you can actually copy the tasks that are associated with it.
Okay.
Okay, here, copy this task list. Peachtree Hotel Group, you want to make sure that is the one that it says, not the archive. And actually, for example, since we're here, this is how you would expire it. You would do the reverse.
Okay.
So how it said copy, you would just say move the task list, and
Okay.
then you would move it to the Peachtree Hotel Group archive. But I do need to show you how to find the archive.
All right.
But in this example, let's first do the adding of it. So Peachtree Hotel Group, that is their contract date, beginning and ending. Okay. And then we're going to go to copy this task list. But let me just make sure. Yes. I almost forgot one important step. So include completed tasks. All tasks will be copied to the new project. Completed tasks will be made active in the new list. Therefore, so please remember, don't do like what I just almost did. When you're copying this task list, make sure that you include the completed tasks so that the SA or security analyst knows that it is a new property, and that they need to start from the beginning. If you don't check this box, it will begin from which this next property is. So if they're almost complete, then it will start the new property off with being almost complete. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. I thought it would have been the opposite. Okay. Include completed tasks.
Mm-hmm. And then that's why it says down here, all tasks will be copied to the new project. Completed tasks will be made active in the new list.
Okay.
So active meaning available and needing to be completed as opposed to being completed. So we're going to copy the task list. And so remember the one we copied was 00ASA for St. Augustine.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And so here it is at the very bottom. This is the one that we just completed. Now, if you get confused about, oh no, which is the copy and which one is the original, if you originally checked that first box, if you check the box on the first one, remember,
Yes.
that will include all the new. You'll see here that the original only has 82 incomplete tasks, but the new one has 188.
Yeah. And it also says copy.
That is true. I didn't see that until I clicked on it right now, so you're absolutely right. You'll want to rename this, of course. And it is already assigned to Larry, who is the SA for this particular group. So we're going to edit it here, and then we're going to rename it. I do actually have a real example.
Oh, okay.
But I'll do this later. You're going to rename it here.
Okay.
Milestones, SAQ. That is correct. So it brought over the milestones as well. So you don't have to worry about moving those over.
Right.
And advanced. Nope, you don't have to worry about anything else. You may want to edit assign to anyone. That truly should be the CSR that's responsible for this particular project.
Okay.
Okay, which is me. I'm trying to make sure that it's for the project overall, okay, and not. We will see.
Okay.
It will either be me or the SA. If you get confused and you know who the rep is, feel free to assign it to the rep because the rep can always assign it to the specific SA that it needs to be assigned to.
Okay.
So in this example, we'll put me. Okay, we've created that. Privacy, who can view this task? Benza, Jennifer R., she's actually the decision maker, so she does have access to seeing everything here. And then Jan, who is our point of contact at the corporate office. Notes? Nope, we don't have any notes. I'm going to leave that as is because I need to change it later. Then you'll click on Save Changes.
Okay.
And then that will update everything. So although we put me down as the point of contact,
Yes.
overall,
Yes.
inside each individual task is still assigned for the most part, and all of them actually should be assigned to the specific um, security analyst, and that'll
Right.
happen automatically when you copy the task over. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with the ASV. Okay,
Yep.
same thing here. We're going to hit the three buttons here, or copy, and copy this task list. And it is going to go to Peachtree. Include completed tasks. So don't forget about that one.
Yes, correct.
Yes, and then copy task list. Now that that's been created, it should be all the way down at the bottom. Here it is as ASV. Okay.
Awesome.
And like you said, it does say copy. You can edit the name here so that it fits the same formatting that is here with the property code and the property name.
Okay. Awesome.
All right, so that is how you would add the account or the project here. Let me make sure that is pretty much everything.
So this one doesn't have internal scanning?
This one does have internal scanning, and so the internal scans is a part of the tasks and milestones. So here under milestones, you see ASV quarterly scan,
Yes.
scan 2, scan 3, they're here. And so it is the responsibility of the SA to come here and then check it off for each individual property, that each individual property has been indeed scanned for the quarter.
Okay. Got it.
Okie dokie. Awesome. Once that is done, they'll be active in teamwork, right? So, and this is what we were talking about before as far as making sure that if they have scanning, they're assigned scanning. Remember, some of the properties that you add will not need to, won't need to be added because they don't have scanning.
Right.
So that is what you're looking for to see if they have it.
Okay.
But you'll see the tasks associated here.
Right.
So it
Exactly.
says SAQ, ASV, it'll say whatever other tasks that are here, but you're going to refer to these tasks here in order to know what you're going to need to copy for that particular property.
Okay. Awesome.
If it's not here, it's not assigned. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Like for example, the training and awareness, you won't. This isn't based on per property. Neither is the phishing. It's just the overall corporation.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Awesome.
All right, and so the milestones automatically moved over. So we're good there. All right, next on the list, now that we have them in teamwork, activate an active campaign. So now what we need to do, this means a new PMG. This can mean a new property management group, but most times this will mean adding the new point of contact or champion to the active campaign funnel to match the current team's placement. So we're going to come here. We're going to go to, I'm going to open a new tab. We're going to go to active campaign, which I have saved here on my dashboard. It'll give us a couple minutes.
And I definitely haven't not done this either.
That is okay. That's why we're recording it, so you can know exactly what to do. I do want to check back in under the campaign and look if it finally stopped loading. So remember I was telling you it will move from the top to scroll down to exactly where the group is, okay, where the property management group is.
Yes.
You can see here that the properties are highlighted.
Okay.
Okay, not only are the properties highlighted under that property management group, but the departments are highlighted as well. And so when a new property is added to the portfolio, they are not highlighted. You'll see a gap within the properties being highlighted.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
You'll see like a big gap.
Right.
So for
I'll be able to.
example, right, you'll be able to tell. For example, I haven't received the user list yet from this particular property, SMW.
Okay.
Okay, but which is why there are no departments there yet. There's no one in there yet, but I have gone ahead and added them to the phishing campaign so that it doesn't look like this.
Okay.
Okay, so I came in here. All I did was I hit the control key,
Right.
and then I clicked on it, which highlighted it in part of the group so that the other ones are still intact, like so. You'll scroll down to the bottom, and then you'll click Save.
Perfect.
Okay, and so you'll have to go back to Peachtree here. And so now that we saved it for this particular campaign, we got to go down here and save it for this particular campaign by going to Edit.
Okay.
Waiting on it to finish loading, scrolling down and finding the newly added property to the PMG and clicking Control again and highlighting that particular property and the departments so that everyone at the property and there within each department is added to the phishing campaign.
Correct.
Okay? And then, of course, we'll scroll down and we'll hit the Save button once it appears. All right, so active campaign. So here we are. You're going to come here under active campaign to contacts. Here to the right, the top right, it says new contact. So we're going to input the email address, the person's first name, last name, a phone number, and then we're going to select the organization that they belong to. Okay, if it's a new organization, then we'll add the new organization. Well, we would type it in here, and then we would click on Add New Organization. But let's say it was Peachtree Group, Peachtree Hotel Group.
Okay.
You would select them, and then it would populate here. Okay, and then you would click on Add Contact. Okay, once you click on Add Contact, yes, I would like to abandon the changes. That new contact will then be added here in the directory. Okay?
Awesome.
Okay, once you add the contact here, they will automatically be assigned to exactly where the feed is for Active Campaign. Because remember, Active Campaign sends out automatic emails.
Okay.
Okay, to either the point of contact at corporate or the point of contact at the property level. So, and it's going to take a while to do it. It does say campaigns here. So where we were under contacts originally.
Right.
Okay, we're going to go to campaigns. And this is just a pop-up to show you how to add a new campaign. Here, we're going to go to campaigns. Okay, I don't know why it's doing that. Manage templates. Why didn't it just go to campaigns? Okay, I was going to try to show you an example of an active campaign.
Right.
And we don't want to manage the templates. That is not what we want to do. But I'm having trouble showing it to you. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, I was going to show that to you. All right. But anyway, once you add the contact and you label that contact as being a part of a specific property management group, it will automatically add them to the active campaign that has already been built for that property management group.
Okay.
Okay? Hopefully that makes sense without actually showing you the campaign. Oh, oh, oh. Here's one. This is actually what I was looking for, what I was trying to get to. So uh, for Denali packages. So here you could see that this is the campaign working its way down. Okay. And so this is the path for the CEO. This is the path for the contacts at the property.
Okay.
Okay. And so they've been added there. All right. Let's move on. You are already familiar with activating the data breach. Don't forget to get the CSR for involved with the information that you may need.
Right.
Right? Notifying the SA um, regarding a new property being added and assigned to them, passing over the MIF file like we talked about, and then sending that confirmation list to the respective CSR.
Right.
All right, does that make sense? Do you have any questions?
I think the ones I'm going to have questions on are just the ones that I haven't done yet. So when I get to that point, I might have to grab you or something.
Okay, not a problem. And it's just going to take some practice.
Absolutely. Can you send me the active campaign link? I don't have that.
Oh, absolutely. Let's get that over to you. Because there are some, I know that actually I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording since we are
Sure.
good to go there.